First impressions, internal gears, we've got 1, 2, 3. 1 is the easiest, 2 is middle, 3 is the hardest, and then we've got plus minus on the left. And they sort of change it just a little bit. So it's pull, change down a gear, push to the left, change up a gear, and then a little bit harder with a push in, a little bit easier with a push out. Plenty of bugs going in my mouth. Gotta say, I'm not quite confident bunny hopping this or dropping this down curves just yet. It's been a little while since I've ridden a Brompton at length. So it does up the hills. Oh yeah, not bad at all. For such a little bike, it stays so stable. And you'll have seen some of the footage of me riding round and getting up to not insane speeds, but not unrealistic speeds for riding on the road, riding around town, and it rides really smoothly. These upright handlebars give it such a smooth, upright feeling. Can we? No, it's not quite that stable. Oh. Or perhaps I'm just not quite as good as I used to be. Let's keep hands on the handlebars for now. But yeah, so the M shape, there's an H shape as well, which comes up to here. Means your hands are up here, proper. Comfortable for taller people as well. God, I'm getting out of breath. It's been ages since I've cycled properly. We'll pull over in a second, we'll have a look. Let's pull over here. The sun is lovely. And now it's a gravel bike. And it stopped. Oh. So I'm in a local country park and just thought I'd ride it out here to get a really thorough up and down the gears, try it around some corners. I've not really ridden it through town yet. I've done a little bit, and on rougher stuff it can be a bit jarring, but for short stuff like that, this is just absolutely brilliant. So the higher Brompton comes with this telescopic seat post, so people that are extra tall can ride it up to 6'6", I think. But the M bar, the H bar is for taller people, but you can ride the M. And the S on Brompton's website, they say it's for sporty or straight. You can just about see the dynamo light still glowing in there. And that's the internal hubs, you can see just down here that the light's still on. And it's got this great little bell. I was riding along and there's pedestrians, people with buggies, prams, that sort of thing, and you're really able to let people know you're coming with this, and it's not offensive, it's not loud. For £35 a month, I think this could be money well spent. I hope you enjoyed that little demo. I found it quite fun. One thing that has occurred to me is that the Brompton has a really nice upright seating position. there's a baby deer over there. There's a baby deer over there. Oh no, a baby deer, just a small deer. Anyway, Brompton has a really nice upright seating position. So when you're travelling through town or you're commuting, your head's really able to move around. And you're not really moving the handlebars all that much when you do it. There he goes. Love to see it, love to see it. Anyway, Brompton, yeah, so the upright seating position means it's lovely around town. And when you do want to stop, not only does it stop nice and sharply, despite the brakes, you know, you think small wheels maybe, oh, won't stop, but it stops really sharply. And because you've got all of this down here and no top tube, you don't have any issue when stepping off the bike. It's brilliant, genuinely brilliant. So if you're wondering yourself, can you track stand a Brompton? The answer is yes. So heading back now, seen the deer, we've been out in the sunset, already had my dinner. We're going to go back to the house and I'm going to talk you through some of the specs of the Brompton I didn't go over in my last video. Also go over how the leasing works. For those of you that watched my last video, you'll know that it's £35 a month, some sticks. But how you sign up, what it looks like, and what the Brompton website says. For £100 a month you can get the Brompton. I'm in the lowest gear, not quite a steep hill, although I'm very unfit at the moment. If you're thinking about leasing the Brompton, you'll probably have a few questions and may want to see how it's set up. So here is how you apply for the Brompton lease.
So if you head to bromptonsubscription.com, just drop it into Google, it'll take you to this landing page which will give you an overview of how it works, how it's delivered, what's on offer. If you scroll down a bit further, it will give you the price points of £35, £50 and £100. £100 being fixed for 3 months, 30-day rolling after that for the electric bike. And then you'll have the terms and conditions to sign up. You can buy with Google Pay or you can pay with credit card. There are options for cancellation. Give the T's and C's a read. I won't go through them here. There are coupons available and you can give subscriptions as gift vouchers. You just need to put in your name, your billing address, and on top of this, on top of your card details, you also need to provide proof of ID, proof of address, which Brompton will go through, and then after that they'll ship the bike to you. Ours turned up within about 2 days of the ID being confirmed.
So there's an on switch of the dynamo which lets you power it on, off. As you can see from my wrist, it seems to be on. So one thing just to be mindful of at train stations, if you have the dynamo, is be mindful of the red light, because trains also use red lights, signals use red lights. Just be mindful of having this facing towards the tracks. And if you're worried about suspension and ease of the ride and how it feels, Bromptons do have built-in suspension. You can get varying levels of these. This little rubber block here is very squidgy, and as you ride along and you're pressing down on the saddle with all your weight, that compresses. So as you're going along the vibrations, it pivots here and damps here, so you do have a bit of suspension, and the tyres help a little bit as well. Brompton do include a service, an interim service, after 6 months and after 12 months if you roll on the contract with the bike. If you're getting it serviced at a bike shop in between, one thing to bear in mind is getting the right size inner tubes, because it needs the right tubes, the right size tyres, and the handlebars have different length cables for each one. Brompton know how long the cables are for all of their handlebars and all of their positions, and that means that they sell them in packs. So if you're doing your own maintenance, make sure you get the right one. You get it from a reputable bike shop who can help you identify what you have. The rental ones should only be an M3L, so 3 gears, or an M6L. I have the M6L. The lights do stay on, so when you're at traffic lights or when you're just sat stationary by the side of the road, try not to cover up anything here and keep this nice and visible, but you can still put a little light under here. Oh, and while we're here, these hooks on the back are similar to what you find on something like a Brook saddle, and they allow you to loop through little bar bags underneath. Now with the dynamo on the bike and with the extra seat post, the extra bars, things can add up in weight, and when you go to lift it, it can be quite heavy to lift onto a train or to round or just carry around. So what you can do with the Brompton is have it in this position with the handlebars still screwed up like this, and you have these small wheels at the bottom. So what you can do is just wheel the Brompton along with us. So no Brompton video would be complete without a demonstration of how to fold and unfold it. Let's start with it folded, because this is how it's going to come boxed. You take the handlebars here, you can see the bracket here undone. So we grab the handlebars here, pull them out of this, up and round, make sure this is out the way, this little bracket here, and we tighten that up nicely. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to grab the seat post here, release it, lift it, and that is probably too high for me, so put it down a little bit. That releases up the rest of the bike. So now what I'm going to do is lift up the front of the bike using the handlebar at the front. So just lift this off here, swing that round, and there's a bracket just here on the center where it closes up, and that clamps it down into place. And make sure, I tend to make sure anyway, that when I'm riding off, just give them an extra pinch. So that's that. Now it's the pedal out, and for the final element of undoing the Brompton, you can either lift it gently or you can do the Brompton flick, and that is how you unfold a Brompton. Now folding the Brompton, if you look just here, there's a little plastic toggle. So this little plastic toggle undoes this bit here. So where I've done the Brompton flick, I'm going to re-flick it back around. That's now on its base. We're going to undo the center bracket. We're going to bring it back round, and this little black piece here needs to fit in this gap here. Just be careful of catching it on the chain. Common mistake to make, and it yanks down on things, so just be mindful of that. Get it in this gap here. We drop that in like that, and that's now secured. Now to lock all of this in place, we drop the seat post down. If we look around the back just here, you can see the seat post comes down, and around the back just here is a little stopper. That's what stops the whole thing unfolding. Now, as you've seen before, you can now lift it up, wheel it around on the tiny little wheels, and to finish it off, we undo the handlebars, and you can either lower them down yourself or just drop them into place. Finally, pedal, grab it by the saddle, and away we go. Oh, you're still following me. That's it for now. Thank you so much for watching. My first Brompton video did so well, and I was not expecting it to. I'm really enthusiastic about these bikes, having worked with them when I was a big retailer, Evans Cycles, for a number of years. Please consider subscribing to my channel, drop the like, and drop a comment if you're interested. If you've got any questions on Bromptons, leave them down below. See you next time.